All right, let's get the heck out of here. It's just never ending trying to get the heck out of here and do this, do that. And, you know, I tell you what, I just got such mixed feelings. It's such a beautiful car. Do I even do it? I don't know. I mean, for one thing, for sure, the window that's in here, you know, it's definitely screwed up. So I'm definitely going to get that looked at. So no matter what, but I'll look to my buddies to see what they think is the right idea, the right decision, and go from there, if you know what I mean. So the adventures of the wide body Charger. Oh man, I tell you, it just doesn't end, man. Too much damn technology. It just drives you nuts. Too much crap. Yeah, look at, yeah, right. Who created that, right? Which came first? The car or the house? Right? Yeah, so I just posted my misinformation video, which I don't know how many people have looked at that yet, but I tell you what, more than ever, it's just aggravating where we are in today's society, where, you know, the media machine is just brainwashing so many people. It's really bad that there's an individual sitting behind a computer that's able to write down things and publish it and get it where it gets millions of hits, and everybody just takes after the gospel. I mean, more than ever in our lifetime, I just am really, you know, there's this individual who knows what they look like that gets on this mission of writing content to mislead people, and it's just unbelievable of what we're witnessing today in our society. And that's why today I posted the misinformation, because there's just so much, there's so many conversations about misinformation. I mean, and that's why I kind of cut it short at that 30-minute mark. All right, let's see, here's the challenge. You know, it's a cold day, first of all. All right, it's 50 degrees out, and it's wet roads. I mean, a car like this is where you see the cars in the junkyard. You see this car in the junkyard because I've got a radial drag tire in the back of this car that really isn't the ideal tire to be in colder conditions in a wet day. I mean, I know the car well enough to know not to do stupid things in it. But, you know, for the inexperienced driver, this is how you crash. Yeah, so, man, this car here, the steering on it, what's really neat, the steering on it's just so aggressive. It so makes me think of my Mustangs. You know, each car has its own personality. And this car here, the Charger car, is so incredibly comfortable. I mean, it's just an incredible sedan vehicle where you could take this to California, no problem at all. And you get really good gas mileage. And up at highway, you can serve if you're getting 20 miles per gallon, if not 22, 25 miles per gallon. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a car here where I don't know how the owner let this thing go, but he may not have that person. Who knows? As we know, I was telling you earlier this morning, you know, the YouTube channel, the guys are getting huge hits right now. There's all the gloom and doom. It's all gloom and doom about how the housing market is crashing. I mean, more than ever, they're starting to show statistics of the numbers of houses that's been in the market, and people are trying to get rid of them, and they're having to lower the price. And now what the talk is, and the housing market is, people are going to be selling them for what they sold for 10 years ago. Yeah, that's the conversation. I don't have this thing in, you can probably hear it, right? I mean, this thing's so fun. Oh, the gurgle on pop. Wow, that exhaust is so sweet. I mean, there's a fine line there. You know, that exhaust, interior-wise, you know what I gotta do? I gotta text my kid right now. I'm gonna forget about this. Hold on. Yeah, I was gonna have my kid. Here's what I'm thinking. Is I was gonna do a whole wrap: hood, roof, trunk, and spoiler. But Jesus Christ, that's a chunk of money, number one. Number two, they got to keep it for over a day. So I wouldn't even be able to, I have to drop it today. So I don't know. This is such a beautiful car. I just don't know if I do that black wrap. I don't know. I mean, I'm just, and that's the thing. When I start second guessing myself, that's not good. So we'll evaluate as we ride over in the Charger Hellcat. But yeah, back to exhaust. Apparently they took the mufflers out, but not the resonators. I guess that's the conversation. So the mufflers have been, removed. But to me, it still is a mild exhaust. So interior-wise, that's impressive, because I've owned many vehicles where you put these exhaust systems in them, and the interior drone noise is just, it drives you nuts, to the point the wife's even like, I hate this car. Yeah, I just don't want to ride around in it. Not like she's driving my Charger Hellcat, but the whole point is, you go anywhere, it's just not that great. So for me, it's nice, but at the same time, you don't really get that same, you don't know that behind this car, the exhaust is pretty radical. So it's a sedan, so it's good. Even though that GT500, always back to GT500, but here's the thing. The GT500, they pipe back in that sound, so they're piping back in the exhaust note into the car. So that's something I don't really think about, is, they kind of, it's not the fake exhaust per se, but from my understanding, in Ford, they pipe back in the noise. You know what? The roads are really a lot busier. The roads are busier. So, I told you earlier in my video, this morning's the Tuesday morning conversation, misinformation age, the oil industry is down dramatically in fuel usage. But here, it seems like here over the last month or so, the roads in this DC metro area have gotten much heavier. My true belief is everybody's sitting at home. It's a known fact right now. People are losing their jobs that sit at home. And guess what? The next job you have, you're not going to be sitting at home probably. I mean, I have no idea. This is, once again, YouTubers. This is YouTube channel guys that are like me, but they're the real estate mogul guy, or they're the car market guy, or, whatever their YouTube channel's theme is. They're making statements and claims that the big tech guys are getting laid off left and right now. So all these people that used to sit at home and work remotely, that gig is gone, and now they're having to just do whatever they do to have a job. I have no idea. This is, once again, this is guys that, like me, walk around making these, statements. Have to hear that exhaust note. A little bit there. So, hear that burp, gurgle burp. So anyways, it's once again, where the information, I don't know. I don't know if these guys, it's no doubt to me clickbait, because every one of these guys, pictures on their channel shows some dramatic thing going on, like a big arrow of the housing market crashing, people losing jobs, used car market, big arrows, and all these, like graphs showing the used car market crashing. Here, GM just posted its best profits this year. But, once again, it's like Rivian. Rivian's stock is tanked, but Rivian's now, and I know this game. I understand what goes on behind the scenes. If you're a CEO of a company and you have a publicly traded stock, you have to be feeding information to your investors to give them a glimmer of hope not to dump your stock. Hello? I mean, oh my God, it's a no-brainer. So the Rivian owner is saying, hey, we are on schedule to start producing Rivians like never before. Well, the question is, do people want to buy the Rivian like never before? I have no idea. I'm just telling you right now that the GM of the dealership I deal with claims that they just dumped a ton of Rivians and took a beating. So what's the real story? I have no idea. You don't know. That's the danger. But going back to the fuel industry, oil industry, yes, it's not what they portray it to be. And that's why OPEC is very concerned right now and very worried. They know that if they can't get this barrel of oil prop back up, we're going to have that $40, $50, $60 barrel oil. Yeah, you heard it from me. You heard it. Unless these stock traders can just manipulate the heck out of the market, it's bad. And that's what they say yesterday. The incredible rise in the stock market, people are scratching their head. Why are people, on this page, and all of a sudden the country's beautiful and things are beautiful again? You ever heard of short and long traders? Yeah, but those guys are getting beat up like never before. So, as far as that story goes, yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a short and long story, I guess, which I've known people get in that market and have lost their wealth. That's very risky. So, but yeah, back to the Redeye Charger, Hellcat, wide body. Yeah, do I do the full wrap or just do the hood? Just do the hood wrap. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the car right now, like I said, it's just such a beautiful car. But if anything, do we do just a front strip across the front window? Do I just do that? I don't know. Where's the little lines? I usually have, oh, there it is. So there's a little line over here. I can't see it because I'm driving, but it's up here somewhere. Yeah, so that's a debate as well. Last night I was reading about the Corvette Z06 and Z07. So apparently GM has finally released the Z06 for journalists to have a day with the Corvette. The 2023 that everybody's clamoring over, that has the 5.5 plain cranked, naturally aspirated motor, which is one of the first since the ZR1 of 1990 as far as the power. It's like 650 horsepower, non-supercharged, non-turbocharged, and so the car, the engine's just a badass motor. It sounds like it's a dual overhead cam V8 motor, which they haven't had since the ZR1, I guess, 1990. Like a Cosworth motor or something. But all the journalists are just drooling and claim the car is just the baddest ass ever American produced sports car ever. But here's the thing. Most people know there are the motorheads. Yeah, be so lucky to get one. I have people I know of that 2 years ago put their names on that car, and supposedly they're going to get the car at MSRP. So, as far as that goes, as far as a lot of traffic. I mean, if this area I live on in my life, it's 10:30 in the morning, and for this area here, this area, the traffic all disappeared. I've talked about it a gazillion times because this DC market, 30% of the government workers and techies all work from home. So the whole, and that's why I talk about why the fuel prices are so overinflated. It's such a bunch of BS. It's beyond believable. It's beyond believable what the greed is getting away with in this country. It's bad. Like I was talking about this morning, these big shipping container ships are idle. They're being idled because they don't have any goods. People aren't buying stuff. The pandemic fake economy is gone. It's done. Now the real economy's here. Yeah, the real economy's here now. Guess what that means? Yeah, not every brother's sitting around in the house all day long getting paid to sit home and you just buy things as they're bored off their ass. Hello? Yeah, I've talked about it a gazillion times, but that Z06, yeah, the whole thing is be so lucky to get one. I just hate this crap. For me as an individual, it's just, they throw it out there at you that you can have this car, but you can't. You can't have the car. So for me, the C8 Corvette, the whole thing for me, I was like, you know what? I'm out because, first of all, just a regular Corvette, be so lucky to get one. Okay, well, I drove one, and for the record, yeah, it's a nice car. I mean, but did I, like, think it was this incredible car? I mean, I'm not tracking a car. Yeah, it's a cool car. It's all right. Crawl in and crawl out of it. I mean, that's what you don't understand. You crawl into the Corvette. My laughing joke, running joke to my forum buddies is, can't wait to see the first 90-year-old guy buy the Z06, because that's, you know, it's going to be the 70, 80-year-old guys that are picking up these Z06s. I'm not lying. You think I'm making that up? And no criticism to the guys that age, but hey, how's that jumping in out of that Corvette you got there going for you, huh? Yeah, until you get to be an older person, you don't get that conversation. So my statement is, I can't wait to see the video of the guy that's 90 years old and picks up his Z06 Corvette, and he just turns, you know, sideways to the car and just falls into the car because he can't, you know, to be able to get in the car, and then how does he get out? Yeah, you think I'm making this stuff up? I've had the Corvettes. That was one reason. There's a few reasons I kind of got rid of the Corvette. Number one was the Hellcat. I had a Hellcat. I had a beautiful 2015 Corvette Stingray with the automatic transmission Z51 package. And when I bought my four-door Hellcat Charger that basically could beat it, I was like, oh boy, this is really fun. You're driving down the road in your little two-door Corvette, and the guy in the four-door sedan rolls up next to you and he blasts you. Yeah, and I'm just thinking, well, for what? And then you're on the road. You're an inch off the surface of the road. So what do you hear underneath your feet the whole time you're going down the road? Yeah, you hear the road. Yeah, and the other thing is, like I've said many times, you got to crawl in the vehicle and you got to crawl out. I just came to the point, it's like, the Hellcat has more fun. Then comes the GT500, and holy crow, that even made things even more make sense not to buy another Corvette. And I use that in my video conversation for all the C8 guys that hate me, is my GT500 is just more practical and more fun. Yeah, I know. If I'm tracking the car, I get it, but I'm not. I'm not tracking the car. So back to the Z06. Incredible car. 2.2 0 to 60. Yeah, 2.2 seconds, if I'm correct. Could be 2.6 seconds. So it's in the 2 range. Yeah, can you accomplish that on your own? I don't know. But that's what I've read 3 different articles from 3 different journalists from 3 different internet magazine companies. It's Car and Driver, Road and Track, and Auto Week. And so each one was just lambasting about, or just, you know, they were actually drooling over the car, and their biggest disappointment is they couldn't take it home for themselves. And then a quarter mile at a $131 at 10-second range, which that's very impressive for a factory car. But even though these Hellcats, if you know how to run them right, you're within reason. The GT500, same thing. If you mod these things, yeah, you're 150 mile, 9-second. Yeah, if you know how to mod these cars, yeah, there's forum members that have Hellcats and know how to tune them and mod them. They're hitting a $150 quarter mile times in a 9-second range. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, because the Corvette weighs like 3,800 pounds. These Hellcats weigh like 4,400 pounds. So you're talking about conservative 600 pounds. I'd say it's probably more like 700 to 800 pounds. But I'll just use 600 pound difference. 600 pounds. If you're racing, that's a big difference. So yeah, the Z06, cool car, beautiful car, really neat. You're not going to see them. They're all going to be garage queens. And a select few would get them. It'll be, my guess, late 2023, mid 2023, and into 2024. You know, and how that all plays out. But you're not going to see them. Very rarely. And it'll be hard to kind of decipher them to a degree if you're not a real motorhead over like the Z51 package on a Corvette all done up. You know, if the average person, they won't really know it's Z06. It's just like the wide body Scat Pack to the wide body Hellcat. Sincerely, if you're not a motorhead, you would say my former Gold Rush 392 was everything that my wide body Gold Rush Redeye Hellcat is. You know, you'd be like, they look the same to me. Yeah, for the average person, yeah, right, they do. And also with these Charger Hellcats, same thing. You can buy an SRT 392 Charger Hellcat wide body, and it's a great package. It's a great deal. In all reality, you'd be out there that watch my channel, budgeting your money and want a fun car. I can't emphasize enough. A 392 automatic. Don't get the manual transmissions, and you can't get a manual in the Charger. You get a manual in the Challenger. I've driven it. It's not fast. You need the automatic in these 392s to really give you that much more fun factor, and that's why I can't emphasize enough. Automatic in 392s. Yes, that's a faster car, more fun car. And so if anybody out there is looking for a nice, cool looking Challenger, yeah, get the wide body 392 and save you half the money. I mean, you're going to spend 50 grand instead of 100 grand. Yeah, I mean, where the market right now is these Redeyes, these Hellcat Chargers, you're at the 80, you're at 80 to 100 grand. Maybe 70s, maybe if you're lucky, but it'll probably be a high mileage car. But once again, 392, automatic, plenty of fun, plenty of speed. These cars here that I have, you know, these are cars that you got to get into the 100 mile an hour plus range to really start separating you from like the 392. You know, that's what you have to do. I mean, it really takes that much energy, more power, and then that's where you're in the really, you know, yeah, right. If you're tracking the car, I get it. But if you're just driving it around day to day, it's like now, right now, I'm just driving this car down the road. You know, you can see it's just a very comfortable four-door sedan car. I mean, it's just an awesome product. Even without the Redeye motor setup. So it's a 6.2 liter motor, but it's a high output motor. It's got the Demon motor components. That's what they say. What you know is you open this hood, the top of the blockheads are black, not orange. You open up a guy's car that has a very easy for anybody to put a Redeye badge on their car and say it's a Redeye. When you open up the hood, what you got to see is the heads. If the heads say are orange and they're not black, then you know right there that yeah, that guy's making a story up. The guy could paint him, I guess. Really want to start pushing it. Yeah, right. All right, heading to LA Tint for another project, or is it a project? Let's see. This Lindsay Automotive Group. Wow, all their Teslas. Interesting. They used to have a ton of Teslas out front of there, and they're all gone. What's that all about? Yeah, is the market changing? I think it is. I think the market's changing. We know it is changing. Oh, just loving the Hellcat Charger wide body Redeye. I mean, this thing just coasts. Dangerous car. It just coasts. I can't get over how those Nito rear drag radial tires, the car rides. I mean, in all reality, for the most part, you wouldn't even know. It's just awesome. Which that's why we love competition. Speaking of competition, I read a really good article on the 3 trucks, the half-ton trucks. What's interesting, they didn't include the Chevy. So it was the Toyota Tundra, which I really like the look of the new Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. And I like the look of the TRD, or just to say the Tundra, that's really dressed up. I really like the way it looks. And then they had the F-150 Lightning hybrid setup. Then they had the Ram 1500. And what was interesting is the Ram was like a model year, I don't know, it seems like the Ram wasn't, I don't know, anyways, maybe it was the Ford F-150. So, to make a long story short, the Ram truck won out overall best pickup truck of the class. Tundra failed. And I've read a lot about the Tundra. I think the Tundra is a great truck. You know, I would maybe pick one up just to have one, to say I have one, and I think they're pretty cool, but what you hear is, number one, the fuel economy isn't great. Number two, it doesn't radiate that it's a lot of truck. It radiates like it's a lot of truck because it kind of seems to be, I don't know. There's just an interior. I've always just said the Toyota Tundra just isn't the even though the Tundra is built in this country, it just doesn't seem like they figured out the work truck aspect of the Toyota Tundra for people like to work on them like they did with the F-150 and the Ram truck. And I guess the Chevy truck to a degree too. But I think it's really interesting is I drive lots of vehicles. And I tell you the way I feel about them. And I had a beautiful 2019 Ram 1500 Limited, and it was too nice. I mean, it was a beautiful truck. It had an air ride suspension, the heated air conditioned seats, adaptive cruise control, the big new screen. It had everything you want. The Ram box. But I thought it was just really neat to see that the journalist said exactly what I've said all along. The Ram 1500 truck doesn't drive like a truck. It drives like an SUV. Yes, and that's exactly was one of the low points of the comments from the different journalists driving them is that vehicle drives like a Highline SUV. And that's why I didn't like it. It didn't drive like a truck. And that's what I talk about in lots of different conversations is there's borderline a separation of these vehicles with us because they're just there's just too much technology. They're so technologically advanced that you lose that the connection with the vehicle. Like this Dodge Charger Hellcat, this thing's so connected to the road. And in borderline it's starting to look archaic compared to other vehicles with the technology. If anybody saw the Ford Mustang, I mean, that's just like playing a video game, like being in a spaceship. So, but the Ram 1500 won the truck of the year. And that's why when I talk about the Rivian, I think I irritate the Rivian people. But the reason I talk about the Rivian so much is it's the #1 competitor right now against the Ford F-150 truck. And I don't see it being in the same category and class. I just don't see it. I just don't think that the Rivian was thought through if you're competing against the truck. Don't get me wrong. If you're not competing against the truck and the Rivian side, then yeah, they've done a pretty good job. I don't like the electronics in it where you're stuck in the car. If the battery dies, you can't get out of it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that. I could be wrong. And it isn't bash the Rivian. It's just for me, I drive a lot of different vehicles and I walk away and I'm like, and that's something that's really also interesting is for all the C8 people that, hated me out when I did that Corvette review, the conversation on the new Z06 is just what I talked about. You're not getting that exhaust noise in the interior of the Corvettes. So the C8 Corvette, I'm not talking about the Z06. They redid the exhaust to try to get more note out of it. But the C8 doesn't get that interior, it doesn't get that front engine like exhaust note out of that vehicle. I know it's a rear engine driven car, but the journalists talk about what I talked about in that C8 Corvette. You don't get that exhaust note. And I even have a video talking about it's all about the exhaust. You heard this car start this morning. If you don't have the exhaust note, it's not the same. Us motorheads like to hear that engine in that exhaust. And when it has that nice, badass rumble to it, it just is what gets the blood flowing in us ICE motorheads. That's why most people that are ICE motorheads don't like electric vehicles. There's no noise there. It's an empty suit. So, once again, going back to me, I drive a lot of different cars, and I sincerely feel like when I drive a car, when I walk away from it, I'm giving a really sincere impression of it, but yet some of the others, they don't want to hear it. They look at me like I'm some idiot that doesn't know what I'm talking about when I drive a vehicle. Just like the Super Duty series. I've talked it many times. The new 2023 Super Duty has the exact same suspension setup for the most part that the 2022 did. So to me, if I get another Super Duty, I imagine it's going to be the same story. It's going to be it's going to have the front end walk, which to me, it's ridiculous. Ford needs to address how that front end truck walks going down the road. And anybody out there, I do a lot of driving, I do a lot of towing. It's exhausting when you have to constantly be fighting the front end of your truck, especially driving a trailer. Yeah, it's really bad. And that's why I say the Ram outdoes the Super Duty series all day long. When I had the Chevys, I felt like the Chevys got pulled around by the trailers. Now, the last time I had a Chevy Duramax 2500 Heavy Duty Series was 2016. So I haven't had them out for 6 years. I can't honestly tell you on the newer Chevys, because they've been all redesigned, I think they probably overcame that. But for me, the feeling I got when I drove those Chevys was that trailer was pulling me. I wasn't pulling the trailer. But I'm just not into the Chevy product. I'm just not in that right now. I'm just not where I am. I'm just not into GM product. You know, I just think GM's, man, I'm just not excited. You know, I'm much more excited about the Ford and Dodge product. I just feel like they have more of the variety and taste that I want. And don't get me wrong, the Chevy product, this guy here, there's that guy just totally cut my lane. Truck right here, and this guy here, he literally just drove into my lane. You know, he doesn't know where he is. And so, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the GMC and the Chevy truck are nice. I think they're cool looking truck. Yeah. But anymore, the price, when does the price increases stop? Is anybody listening? You know, the 45,000 Ford Super Duty series sitting out at the Kentucky Speedway that apparently is no longer used anymore, which is kind of sad, but it's all about the demographics and all about who wants to go watch the races. And if you can't get the crowds there and the sponsors, then it makes no sense, I guess, to use the racetrack, is my guess. But nobody talks about is the unions. You know, if you're a Ford, GM, Ram, you have unions. So for Ford, for me, it's a no-brainer. The reason they have 45,000 trucks that are unfinished is because they have to continue to keep their production line going. They committed to inventory. They committed to building stuff. They have no choice because the 2023 Super Duty Series is being refreshed and it's a different truck. So you got to finish out the 2022 model year and moving out all your parts. It's a no-brainer. I don't get. There's a YouTube guy, this wife and husband that drive around. Apparently, the something family, and the guy's videoing all this, and he's stumped at how all these vehicles are here, and he makes it sound like it'll take 2-3 years to sell the trucks. No, once those trucks have chips, they're gone, man. There's people waiting for those trucks. I don't get these conversations. And it's all of a sudden, it's all negative. So to me, there's no doubt in my mind, all those Super Duty trucks are sold. They're not going to be collecting dust. They want to get the semiconductors in. Yeah, what's that all about, right? The semiconductors. Anybody paying attention? Taiwan, China. Hello. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, right. Yep, sure. Yep, I believe that too. Just keep on watching the media. So, you know, going back to the pricing, and you just know all these trucks are even be more expensive. I mean, you have to say, the good old days, pre-pandemic, the manufacturers had but no choice to discount these trucks 10 plus grand. They had no choice because they're just too expensive. And the manufacturers knew that. Hey, let's see if they bite it. If they bite, don't say anything. If they're not biting, we got to give some pretty big discounts to move these things out of the way. But yeah, the union had a big play in this too. You got to pay union members whether they work or not. Hello, here's their inventory. Tons of Durangos, tons of Rams. They got a bunch of Challengers, Chargers, not Hellcats, but hello, here's a Volkswagen dealership up here now. This just opened up, so I really can't tell. So it looks like a lot of used. Now they got a decent amount of, Volkswagen sitting over there. All right, the misinformation today is the misinformation that we all are being sucker punched. Yeah, you heard me. You're being sucker punched by the media machine and the big man, the big greed man, is taking advantage of all of us. And the reality is, it's not factual. Yeah. Hello. So, all right. Let's go up here to LA 10. Let's evaluate, and we'll continue our ongoing morning discussions. All right. What do we guess? How is LA 10 today? Roads are busy. I mean, this is the danger. Now, you know, everybody's claiming everybody's packing bags and not buying stuff and doing things. There's the next danger of misinformation. Is it factual? I don't know. Got a lot of police up here today. Look at this. Oh no, red light camera. Yeah, so let's see how, I mean, all I know is these guys, I don't see this operation, you know, radically changing. Do I see that maybe they slow up a little bit? Possible. But radical? I doubt it. Oh, the morning, here's a guy walking across the road. Don't run him over, right? Yep. All right, here we go. Wasn't he just here? What the hell did I bring last time, right? I can't even keep track. It's pretty bad. The Maverick. Brought the Maverick over and got it all tinted out. What happened to the Maverick conversations, right? Yeah, I agree. What happened to the Maverick conversations? All right, the final walk around. Do we or don't we? Do we put a black, do we black out the hood? I mean, I'm thinking the blacked out hood, blacked out roof, blacked out trunk look pretty badass on this thing. So, all right. How about that? See that? That's pretty cool. Yeah, the Challengers, you don't see that red eyes easily, or do you? Love the wheels. All right, let's go see Travis. Common car I see in here is the Tesla being, this is the most common car that gets a PPP, right?
PPF, yes sir.
Did it?
Paint protection.
But I thought these things were plastic.
No, that's metal.
It's aluminum, probably.
Yeah, they just got thin paint. So.
Oh, is that what's going on? Really?
Yeah.
So wait a second, I love this conversation. So the reason the Tesla people need to get the PPF is because the paint is so thin.
Well, the paint's thin, but the front end takes a lot of rock chips because they're very small grills. The airflow doesn't really go around too well. So.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense. But I want to hear Elon, the magician man, that likes to tell everybody the way it's going to be, but it's not actually today going to be. So you're saying the paint on these is thinner than other manufacturers, or?
It's a little thin. Yeah.
No doubt. You see that.
Oh yeah.
You guys can put a meter on that.
Wow. So for Tesla owners, I'm hearing you're being called out that Elon just puts a nice fine spray and then she's good to go. Right? Yep, good
well,
old
not
Elon.
only that, it's just the shape of the front as well. It takes a lot of rocks. I mean, the hood comes down like this.
Yeah.
Usually,
right.
not on the S's, but on the 3s, the fenders roll up pretty far. So.
Wow. All right, let's talk about me. Let's quit talking about them. All right, here she comes. Look at that. I mean, come on. Nice. Wow. Wow, do we do it? I don't know, man. This gentleman here, do you mind being in the video? I mean, so he's like, I don't know, man, this thing's so nice, leave it alone. And I don't disagree to a degree. I mean, I guess the worst case, we put it on. If I don't like it, we just rip it off, and I just spent a lot of money for nothing. So do you got to take this off?
Yeah. All this stuff.
Right. So my thoughts are: do we go matte or do you go gloss? Sorry? Satin? How would that look? Let's check that out. So we got, oh, it's satin. Yeah, we don't want that. No way. That would be the look. Right there. For sure.
See how close this matches.
Oh, yeah, right. Wow. Yeah.
And that's going to be even more washed than that, like as far as color. Like it'll be dull looking.
Right. Yeah, well, I think for this car here, I mean, where is the mat?
Let me see.
So, see, to me, that's the look. But what's the negatives on the mat?
As soon as you touch it with your greasy hands, it's gonna leave marks.
Permanently?
Kind of, sort
You
of.
can get them out with like Dawn dishwashing liquid.
Well, you're supposed to use a special detergent to clean it. But here's the thing, it's just harder to use to put on. So I'm just trying to figure out, it doesn't matter, either one's the same amount of. But see, I think this,
Are you asking my opinion what you should do?
yeah.
Satin.
It's satin. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
I would say satin too.
So, but it's a glossier look.
It's gonna have a shimmer to it, which will go with your paint.
Okay.
It won't be so dull versus shiny.
It's also a better match to your trim as well, in my opinion.
Is it easier to keep clean, you're saying?
That too.
Don't have to use a special wash to clean it or anything?
I mean, if you want your hood to look like primer, we can put the mat on there, no problem.
Okay.
This will look like basically.
Look like you just primered it up when you drive.
Gee. All right. Well, okay. I just figured to have more of this dull look. That's the only reason I was thinking that. But I hear you.
I mean, it's dull, but if you take the satin, come here, let me show you.
So now?
If you take the satin, come here. It's gonna be a closer match to all your trim here. See,
Okay, there you go.
all your trim.
Yep.
The mat is much duller.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I like the satin personally. But if you're going for the dull look, I mean, the matte would be the way to go for sure.
Well, what's the retro look?
What do you mean?
Well, like the early original Mopars in the 70s, was it a matte or was it a satin?
Oh, it's primer.
True.
'Cause
So that's why it'd be matte.
if you had a Mopar, you were fixing it all day long.
Right,
so
right.
You didn't
How's
have,
it look
you
on
didn't have
top?
enough money to paint your hood.
There you go. There you go. See? The old Mopar jab. The guy owns a Subaru for the record. All right, he's a Subaru WRX guy. Yeah. Well, I guess, it's the risk of doing it, and if I don't like it, then we just peel it off eventually, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would just do what you want to do there, Gary. I mean, I can suggest to you all day long, but you got to live with it, so it's up to you.
Right. Well, it's all the car's all glossy. So the mat, can we get a material cut of the mat?
What's that?
Can you cut a little bigger piece of the mat and put it down?
No.
Okay, it's rolled up. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Got nothing. Got nothing sitting around.
I mean, I can cut a piece of the Charger if you don't like it.
Say what now?
I can cut a piece of the Charger from the material if you don't like it.
Well, whatever. That's a hard decision. And I guess, in all sincereness, if you didn't show me the mat, I wouldn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you'd have told me it's the mat, I would have believed you. But you should have just done that from the get-go. Hey, Gary, this is the mat, man. It'd be all cool.
From the factory, it's kind of like an in-between.
Okay, great point. Let's do this. So we're gonna go with the satin on the hood. Just see how this plays out. And then I'm scared to ask about the redo on these windows. Need help? Right there.
Don't be scared. You got it.
Let me get in there. So, that's some crazy. What the heck? All right, so we're moving forward on that. And what do you think about the window? Now the debate is, do we do the rear tail? Do we tint out that? So the gentleman did the tint here, but he didn't do the actual thing. But damn, this ain't cheap, man. Everything's getting expensive. Very expensive. All right, boss man, how's life treating you? You getting angry yet, or is it okay? You know how that is. You start talking to the car, for the wrong reason. You know that story? Yeah, and then your patience starts to get thin, and wow,
We're trying
cool.
to get there.
Yeah, what's incredible is the time you just put into this just to get it prepped, which we all know, if you don't do that, you pay dearly. The shortcuts, right? Are there any shortcuts in your business?
Not
It's always the long cut if you take the shortcut, right? Meaning the person's back to redo what you screwed up.
Double up your work. Take my taking shortcuts.
Yeah, but for some reason today, people think shortcuts works. Just shortcuts. Travis does it all the time. He cuts between streets and neighborhoods in his WRX, speeding down the road, thinking he's got a shortcut, you know, it'll be all right. Yeah, nobody will find him. And that WRX making a pipe noise. Did you pipe it yet?
No.
Are you going to pipe it?
No.
What?
No.
Where's the fun?
What do you mean? It's good to go. I don't got to do nothing to it.
It already gurgles and pops?
No, I got to wait till it's out of warranty.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Look at that. All right, so am I making the right decision, Travis?
Yeah, that looks good.
Or just leave it alone? You took it all apart, put it all back together, and just we're going to change my mind.
That'll look good.
You know what I mean? I think it's going to look good.
Yep.
Uh-oh, I got an imperfection in there. All right, so Mr. Travis, you see the imperfections. I don't know if that's too radical there.
That's a hair.
Okay. And then did you
This is a
see?
gap. That's
What
a
now?
big gap right there.
Really? I didn't even see that. Oh, wow. Was this a guy did it on his own, or a guy took the wrong shop?
These are kind of tricky windows. I mean, it's Mopar, so it's not built there.
So what's the fee to make that right?
Yeah, nice gap here too. Got some gouges, probably from the sticker that was on there. And then this one, got a little something right here. Not too crazy.
Yeah, see, this is starting to get expensive. I can already tell you that.
Yeah. Well, it's 120 removed, and then 419 for the pinnacle to retain.
Really? So you're saying just redo the whole car? What are you saying?
Yeah. Redo the whole car.
So you're saying $120 to remove it, $400 to redo it?
Yeah. Plus that.
Yeah. So, but is that accomplished today or another day?
I don't think you got time for it today. I mean, if you got time to wait, you can probably get it done. But
How long is that?
it takes about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do that. I got appointments coming in now. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm just asking. I mean, a lot of money today. I don't think I'm up for it today.
Yeah.
My thoughts are. So here's a question: what if we did a black rear spoiler?
Yeah, you could do the black rear spoiler. Be an additional $250.
Could you do that today, or is that too much of a project?
Yeah, that's gonna take some time. The thing with the spoiler, the hard edges too. After it's done, you want to let it set up for as long as possible in the environment it's wrapped in.
Yeah.
So you don't have any lifting, just because of the hard angle. We set that up for another day.
Right. No, I don't disagree. Okay, cool.
Supporting the small guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm out here at LA Tint getting the front hood wrapped.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? This is pretty cool, man. I'm on video right now. And these guys, they just know how to do this stuff. Oh my God. So I'm doing satin on the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All right, look at this here. He just makes it look easy. No pressure. All right. No pressure at all. Coming along here. There it is. We're coming down the home stretch. All right, got the hood done. What do we think? Did we do right? Did I do okay? I think until we get outside, I don't think we can answer their question totally. I think that's good though. I think it gives it definitely a good look. Next is the windshield. And we're just gonna pass and everything else for today. Just too much time. A lot of money too, this ain't cheap. So, I think it looks good. I think that's the look right there. I think that really captures the car, all the lines. I mean, okay, the EV Charger comes out, Daytona, and I sell it for that. I just can't see it. I just can't see how, for me as an individual, I don't like the lines on new electric vehicle Charger. mean, just the whole 9 yards, man. Wow. This is going to be this will be a sought after vehicle for years, I think. Just awesome. Right. Paid the bill. Yeah, got to pay the bill. See how it sounds. If we did okay. Alrighty. Oh my gosh. What a blast, right? The Hellcat Charger. Wide body, Redeye package. I mean, just wow. Look at this here. So the windshield. Pretty cool, huh? Making it mine, making it personal. How do you let this go, right? I mean, let that vehicle. I mean, how do you let it go? I mean, I don't disagree whatsoever. My guy's looking at me kind of like, we're good. Yeah, I mean, come look now. So let's look at this hood now. And this, at this angle, it's hard to even see that, you know, the black. That is so interesting. Look at that. I mean, just sitting in the car right now, that's just crazy. Look how smooth it looks. And even me, I'd be like, wait a second. Did you just tint that? Did you just wrap that front hood? Is that something or what? Wow. Yeah. I mean, now, without the sun so much, the glare, I can see it better. But yeah, I mean, anybody here watching my YouTube channel, how do you let this go? I mean, why would I let this go? I mean, yeah, because it's called pick and choose what you keep and what you can keep and you can't keep. It's not cheap stuff. That's the real story. Yeah. So good old LA Tint. Those guys do a great job out there, and I just appreciate the support. And I mean, they really do a good job. We just took the car here. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. And so the window tint in this car here, to me, whoever did it, they didn't know what they were doing. There's a lot of imperfections. So yeah, at some point I need to go back and have that redone, which that'll be another day, another project. And then the question is, do I continue going to the hood, from the hood to the roof to the trunk to spoiler? I think the spoiler, if anything, looked pretty cool, just wrapped. Yeah, I mean, I really do. So, continue on, right? Where's lunch, right? Yeah, where's the next project? I'm hungry. Oh, here's a guy pulling. Yeah, watch out. All right, so now we've gone into the SRT pages here. We've gone into the track mode. So right now I'm in track. Okay, look like that's pretty cool. It's got a chiller. If you're really tracking this car to cool down the superchargers, so you don't have heat soak. And then you just look at all this technology. It's just crazy. So now, here's the thing, is the car. That's one thing that I've always griped about the Mopar product. This thing has muffler delete, so it isn't really that big a deal because this thing already has a very loud exhaust. But in the other Mopar products, they need to have that active exhaust. See, here's the Jeep dealer. They got a ton of Jeeps back there. They got a lot of inventory. The Dodge dealerships, to me, Jeep and Ram, they just seem to have a lot of inventory. What's that all about compared to other dealers? Let's see here. This is just where you hear that. You just. Maybe I get the back window open a little bit here to give it some more note here. You kind of hear that. It's all about the exhaust. I mean, just think that animal, just an animal. Yeah, I tell it all the time. Yeah. Just mail your license in when you buy these cars. I mean, just here, you can hear it. Hear that? I mean, good Lord. It's the neck snapper. So if I had somebody sit next to me right now, they'd literally be like bouncing, like, hey man, what are you doing to me? Yeah, and those drag rails, they catch pretty damn good. You know, it's right now like 55 degrees out, And considering that, right now, this thing is not getting too squirrely. Hear that burping back there? Yeah, a little bit. Try to give you the... Okay, you hear that? I love that. Oh my goodness, yeah. Don't get yourself into trouble today, Mr. Iceman. Yeah. So, now I'm hearing that the car dealers, a lot of these car dealers, are starting to see a 40% increase in new cars. Did you guys, have you watched my video? Did you see last week I was doing the videos of that Dundalk, Maryland carport? How there was an ocean of cars? I mean, what is going on? Okay, I'll bite. There's not enough drivers to get the cars out and about. Really? Well, the gentleman that drove my Maverick up to my home, he's telling me they're scratching for work. Yeah. Hello? I mean, what the hell is going on? I mean, I know if I'm a new car dealer, I am just dreading. I'm not lying to you. I'm a business owner. I've owned retail operations with lawn and garden equipment and stuff. I'm just dreading. Oh, here we go. This is the, we got an area here with the Jersey barriers. Let's see if we get some exhaust out of this here. Yeah, did you hear that? Oh, that's too bad. I lost the frickin' Jersey barrier going to the left-hand lane, but there it gives you some real-time exhaust there. Yes, this guy here's, and he's in a hurry. So the training on this thing's definitely solid. Oh, here we go. But we're stopped, so yeah, you get nothing out of this. I'll be doing a rear end job here. So yeah, so if I, all right, so I kind of get kind of a takeoff here. We'll give you a little bit of noise here with the back window there. So when you're a car dealer, who wants new car inventory? Why? Why do you want that? Your whole business model is changing in front of you. Where when the guy walks the lot and he sees 20 of the same Jeep Wranglers, or sees, you know, whatever product line you're selling, and there's a gazillion of them sitting there on the lot, you know, the whole discussion all starts to change. And then you know, if your competitor, your competing dealers up the road, and he's got 20 of the same too, how's that all start? Well, I'm gonna go up the street and I'm gonna go talk to them. That's what all starts to play out. So for me as a new car dealer right now, I'm thinking, no, I don't want all these new cars sitting in my lot, because it's going to kill my used car lot inventory, and it's going to kill my margins on my profit margins. I don't know. I mean, you know, for me, there's no hate here towards anybody of me wishing that on anybody, but at the same time, you know, at some point, how long does the heyday last? We'll go over here to give you some exhaust note in this thing here. Let's see here. I mean, come on. Is that what it's all about? I mean, is that what it's all about? Come on. I mean, come on. Yeah. Just mean. This car just wants to be mean. Yeah. Not bad on the track suspension. Not bad at all. Yeah, activate line lock, want to do a burnout. Yeah, so many cool things these cars you can do. Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, you know, back to do we hear much of exhaust there? Yeah. Can I get a car? Whoever owned it, thank you. Thank you for gifting me a really cool car. I mean, I'm not here embellishing, making fun. I'm just telling you right now, thank you. Thank you for giving up your car, because I've done it so many times for so many other people. Do I ever get a phone call? Hey, Iceman, I just bought your beautiful Toyota Avalon. Hey, Iceman, I just bought your beautiful two-door cyber orange Ford Bronco you put exhaust on. Yeah, this thing is so cool. Yeah, not a peep. Hey, Iceman, I just bought your Hellcat Redeye. This thing is beautiful, awesome. Yeah. Hello? Yeah, hey, Iceman. You know, I mean, the list goes on and on and on about, you know, hey, all the cars that I've given to others that are really nice. Yeah, where's the phone call, right? Where's the thank you? The thank you card in the mail. Yeah, I know, they don't know who I am. unless they followed my YouTube channel, they would know all my cars. Which I think that's interesting. There's so many of my cars out there now in the market that I YouTubed on, and unbeknownst to the individuals, they're riding around a car that they would find out who actually owned it. Oh, here we go. Car's designed, I mean, the dangerous car, it's just designed for what I'm doing. I mean, I tell people all the time, you will kill yourself. You take this car out, you're not going to break the car. I'm not talking about doing the serious tracking over and over again and you break your drive shaft. But here you go. Let's do a two back window through the, well, we'll do the one because it gets too much, a little bit of this or that, you know. So we'll do the typical under the bridge. Did that just sound like the racetrack? I mean, come on. Woo! That was pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got a lot of wind turbulence going in here now, but I mean, anybody's around me in a car right now is like, what the hell is that guy doing? I mean, I hear anybody that's driving down the road. And I've gone by these cars. These things are wicked loud. I mean, sure, seriously, when you go by these cars, I've been on the road and I've seen a guy go by me, and it's like, damn, that thing's noisy. I mean, no doubt. Oh, yeah. So I got a guy here coming up on me. Let him go by me right here at the exhaust note. It's too much fun. These are cars you just want to go home. I mean, you don't want to go home. You just want to stay and drive your car. I mean, that's what it turns into. You just want to hang out. And have fun. Get away from these frickin', you know, the guys that have these little dump beds. And here's a guy that's undercover cop. Maybe. Doubtful. I don't know. Don't want to find out, do we? This is a car where you're going down this road like this, and a guy pulls up to you next to the M5, whatever, you know, or the Porsche, and that's where you really just want to kind of gear it down. But like I told you, you got to get this thing down in second gear. If you don't know how to do that, you're not going to get the launch you need. Smile. I mean, come on. When you drive these cars, does it bring a smile to your face? It does. I just can't emphasize enough on how much fun these cars are. I mean, yeah, it's expensive, but it's fun. And I'm lucking out. The range didn't come in. Yeah, so did I do a good job on the front hood wrap? Does the car look better? Does it look worse? I mean, that's the thing. When you have a car, have you made it better or worse? Right? I mean, you know, that's what happens. Do you make it gaudy? I don't want the gaudy look. When people do that, they start getting crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't know. I'll have to think it through, but I think the whole blacked out top and hood and roof, or I should say trunk and spoiler, I just think, yeah, you know, or is it too much? Good news is I got time to think about it, look at it. And if you watch those guys do that stuff, I've tried to do it. I mean, I did it in the dead of winter where it was literally my shop, like maybe 45 degrees. And I tried to do a wrap on my Mustang. Actually, I did a pretty damn good job considering the conditions and being a newbie and amateur. But it's right at the last minute, I tore it. It was such a joke. Okay, here we go. Here's in the tunnel. Okay, so here we go. I call it the tunnel watch. Yeah. Hellcat Redeye. See, there's an example where the car wasn't down in second gear, so you're not going to get that same inertia, exhilaration. And these cars are up in the higher speeds. It's very difficult to get that launch. You got to be down that lower speeds, and got to hit that. It's the second gear. Second gear is the magic number for these cars. So let's see how we're doing on fuel economy. I'm not even running this thing, but at the same time, so we're at 18.7. I mean, not bad. I mean, now we're stuck in 6th gear because I got it track mode, and the suspension's a lot more taut. But you can go into your settings and you can change the suspension. A lot of things. You can put this thing borderline track mode in the shifting, steering, and keep it out of the suspension mode. You can customize it wherever you want. So, yep, all right. Hope everybody's enjoying the Hellcat Charger Redeye. And as I talk about body, so anybody's not abreast of the language, narrow body Hellcats are the traditional, conventional, original style of the Charger and Challenger bodies, and then they came out with the fender flares and made them what they call the wide body package, where you get the fender flares and you get the bigger wheels and tires, so you get better traction control and better, just overall, it's more of the road hugger car. And so for me, I've had both. I've had the narrow body and the wide body, and what I've noticed is in the narrow body, when you get into the car definitely breaks out easier. So the wide body is more of the slingshot effect, where the car so connects that it just really gets you up and down the road. So it's kind of a false, sense where you feel like the narrow body's faster and more powerful because it busts out so much easier, but you're losing traction. Versus the Redeye wide body package that I've noticed is it's just more of it connects and it slingshots you, and the back end isn't fighting to get traction. But you feel like in the narrow body, the car has more power because it's busting loose so much easier. So, which kind of takes the fun factor away. If you're the guy who likes to bust loose, the narrow body's probably the car you would probably want to choose because it's so squirrely. It's so bust loose where you're borderline sideways going down the road. The wide bodies, I'm not saying you can't accomplish that, but it just connects better because it has more tire hitting the road. Yeah. There's a guy that, put an exhaust on his truck. You can't even see where it exits. It's a Nissan Titan. Yeah, so even in track mode, I'm hitting 21 miles per gallon. So what I'm going to do now, we'll go down to the SRT pages here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the auto. So we just go back. We'll go to sport. See what sport does for us. It should. Okay, so see, traction control is off. See, so let's go back to auto. Watch the transmission. Go back here to auto. Okay, so look at that. So we went to 8th gear. Okay, so now it's in the lazy mode. So you just heard how the transmission went to a whole nother, so this is now the lazy man's car. Now look, now we're getting 30 miles per gallon, 23 miles a gallon. So that's sport mode to the auto, the defaults to auto, and then you can actually hear a little bit more of that lower grunt. See the RPMs? This car here, we're only at like maybe 1,200 RPMs. And look, if you look at our speeds, let's see here. Get there, too many. So here's our speed, so you can be doing 70 miles an hour and you're not even at 1,500 RPMs. This is a car that wants to go 100 miles an hour. That's the danger of this car. Yeah. Wow. And here's the thing, so we can kind of get into a little bit, so watch. I mean, the car's still, still rock and rolls, but you're at the higher gears. We can still do the little through the tunnel. Watch this here. Okay, let's see the exhaust. See, you're still gonna listen to that thing. I mean, oh my gosh, just so much fun. I know where a lot of cops sit up here, and they sit up around this exit ramp over here to get you. That's the danger here with this car, man. 100-mile-an-hour stints is no problem whatsoever. So I'll find that out, right? All right. Hope everybody's enjoying the Hellcat ride. Hope you kind of feel like you're with me riding down the road. We're having our fun time as we come back in from it. Look at that, the hood. Sincerely, it's so hard to see. You know, but I got my glass. You know, it's funny. I got my yellow. I got the yellow glasses on. Let me take these off. See if I can notice that hood any better. Yeah, not really though. I mean, it's still kind of hard. It's such a sheen. It's so hard to see. It'd be interesting when I play this video. Can you see that? And I don't know. I mean, yeah, take off the freaking glasses, man. What's with the damn glasses? I like these glasses on the dreary days because it lightens up the day. That's why I wear these yellow glasses, because it lightens up the day to where it seems brighter. Who doesn't, you know as well as I do. You go outside, it's dreary and raining. It's such a mood thing, if you know what I mean. All right, enough fun time, right? So what's the next project, right? What's the next adventure? Well, stay tuned on that. I have another adventure coming, but I don't know, man. Do I do the exhaust on that Ram 2500? I don't know, man. That looks like too much work to me. It'd be a great YouTube video, no doubt, but Jesus Christ, it's just a lot. It's a lot of work. Yeah. All right, stay tuned. So, what do you think of the car?
Well, you didn't wave back.
Well, I was making a YouTube video, so I couldn't see you, babe. So, did you see the car?
I don't know. I could see the hood, but I was busy looking to see if you waved at me.
Oh, my poor baby. It wasn't intentional.
I'm just saying, I don't know how you didn't see me.
Because I was looking at my phone talking.
Window.
Yeah, well, sorry, baby. Sorry, where are you going?
Okay. The gym.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Just making sure you're okay. Having fun in the Mustang?
Yeah.
The exhaust notes sound pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, baby. Well, be safe, okay?
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here, there's the daughter calling me out. She apparently just drove by me. But it's a 4-lane road. And, you know, you just saw the picture of the road I just showed you. It's not like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to ignore you, but she thinks I did. But she wouldn't answer on the car. Did she see the car? Is she, holding back on that? Yeah, anyways. So, they're all talking about take cash out of your checking accounts. I mean, right now, so many YouTube people are telling people you better take all your cash out of the banks. I'm telling you. I mean, today's theme is misinformation. I mean, here's the thing. There's a guy that has a channel called I Allegedly, and I think the guy's a good guy. I think the guy gets a lot of content from a lot of people. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. This guy's got people working for him, getting him content. No doubt in my mind. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not out here, calling the guy out. I'm just sharing information. Now, he has videos. You can go to I Allegedly, Dan. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Dan's a cool guy. I like to watch his channel. But at the same time, he makes all these statements, and I question the statements he makes, which that's fine. You can question my statements. Okay, doesn't mean we don't like each other. So here, he made statements back early summer that we would run out of diesel fuel. He was telling everybody the country's going to be in a total crisis mode. The transportation industry is going to totally shut down because we're going to run out of diesel fuel. Now, where do you get that information? Look at I Allegedly, Dan. Look for videos back in the early part of the summer, and you'll see. And he's made a lot of videos, and a lot of videos he makes are very informative. But there's a lot of times I think he kind of gets out of bounds, and I'm like, what are you? I mean, I don't know. But once again, I'm out here as a YouTuber, saying Dan's a bad guy. That's not the message. The message is we all have misinformation, okay? and it's challenging to get information. You know, he was saying last summer that down there in Tampa area where I stay, there was a lot of violence going on, and people were getting mugged and robbed and stuff. Now, I never heard that. I mean, I never heard that last summer, never heard it this summer. So where are we seeing that information? So every now and then, he makes some statements, and once again, you know, if anybody's a Dan guy, Dan fan, and watches my channel and wants to go report that I'm talking bad about him, well, I'm not talking bad about him. I just promoted his channel. I just promoted Dan and I allegedly, who has a ton of financial information and has, you know, once again, but the whole point is, it's called misinformation. So why is everybody going to start taking money out of the banks? I mean, what the YouTubers are implying is that it's over. The banks are broke. And they're going to take your money and you're not going to be able to get it. I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, for me, but where are they getting this information? So, it can get radical. It's just like I talked about this morning. Defund the police. You know, it gets radical. You get somebody up in front of the television and starts running their mouth, and it becomes a gospel. It's the worst. It's the worst. And more than ever in our lifetime, it's bad. Yeah. But anyways, back to the Hellcat Charger. Really nice car. I'm really excited I bought the car. I'm really excited I got the color I got. And even though I never had a vision of having this color, I never really focused on me end up having this color. It was actually cinnamon stick was what I really wanted. It's kind of that like orangish sunburst type of color, sunset orange. I thought it'd be pretty cool, kind of like my hot pepper red hot chili peppers Bronco I have, but it's a little more of a cinnamon color to it. I thought that'd have been, I found one of those, but it wasn't a Redeye, you know, so yeah. But at the same time, you know, I never visioned myself getting the Hellcat Redeye wide body Charger and Frostbite Blue. I never even thought that would play out. I just didn't think about it. So it just shows you how you think you know what you want. Do you know what you want? All right, everybody. Long day, long channel, long video. Again, I just like to share my fun time and excitement with all my videos and my passion for my vehicles. And I don't want it to be a political channel. I mean, that isn't my goal. My goal is more about how the political environment is changing the direction of the Ice Age vehicles. That's factual. So sadly, we have to talk mild politics because of what is going on in the world in our country. Everybody, appreciate you watching my channel and appreciate the nice comments everybody makes. And I hope everybody has a great day, blessed day. And what's the next adventure? What am I doing next? Stay tuned and you will see. Have a great day. All right, doing the errands, picking up odds and ends. And how's the Hellcat Charger wide body? I think the Hellcat wide body Charger is I think it's the best yet. I just think that for sure. Now, guys argue on the Challenger end about it, but because that's the retro style, but they didn't have this style. So I think for the modern age, the wide bodies, I think it's just the best looking package you can get. I mean, I just love this wide body, and you have no idea how many years I tried to get one. It just never played out. So this didn't just happen by accident. Some people think, oh yeah, well, it's because if you follow my channel, you see I move things around, you know, I maneuver things, and people, that's the danger of me. That's my wife's like, oh yeah, you just got rid of 6 cars. Yeah, why'd you do that? Yeah, hello. I'd rather have a few really badass cars instead of maybe just 6 okay cars. Yeah, right? Oh my gosh, this thing's just so much fun. You know what? For my YouTube channel, I sincerely don't want to come across as this arrogant rich guy. That's not my goal. My goal is for you to be able to ride along and you can just kind of experience like, hey, that's a pretty cool car and blah blah blah. You know, I can only hope for my people that watch my channel, you know, it's not about me trying to embellish that I'm better than you. It's not about that. It's just about me having a chance in my life to enjoy this stuff. And I'm just trying to enjoy it with you, that you can kind of just see and experience what I experienced. That's kind of more what it's all about. And as I've said many times, I don't make any money off my YouTube channel. There you go. That's a really good looking. There we go. That's the danger. Yeah. What do I get fixated on next? You know, there's the danger. Now I got some Ram trucks, right? Yeah. Do I have options? Yes. I mean, yeah. Yikes. Do I have our card in my back pocket? Yeah, that's the danger with me with all my cars. It always gives me kind of like options. Yes. Yeah, that's the danger. But I hear you. Just take a time out, man. I'm with you on that. And so anyways, just kind of back to what I'm talking about here. So there's a Charger, which I've had a bunch of those. And it's a good looking car. Nothing wrong with it. But for me, the wide body aspect of this vehicle, I think it just does so much. And it borderline gives that European type of flair, if you know what I mean. So, and that's why I just really like, isn't because it's European flair. It's not really the message. It kind of just gives it more of that Euro look to it. Just rocking down, man. People are back. People are back and out and about. That's a good thing. Don't need to be sitting at home. Get out and do something. Right? You're going to spend some money. Right. Help others, would you? That's what happened. Here's the next thing. There's so many YouTube channels right now. I talked about this yesterday. Here's my kid.